Brian, the first question is on the economy and jobs. Do you believe Windsor is out of the recession? And what do you propose to do to promote job creation in Windsor-Essex?
We're definitely not out of the recession just yet. We've seen some job growth, but it's been a lot of part-time jobs, and that's been reflected across this country. For our plan in Windsor and Essex County, there's a couple main features. First of all, the border infrastructure plan needs to go forward. I'm working with representatives in Michigan to make sure that we get that passed and we get the jobs here. I've been pushing for a local workers mandate because in the past, even though we've gotten some work down here in some projects, workers have come from other areas, so we need a local workers mandate. We also want to reduce small business tax down to 9% from 11% and provide a $46,000 tax-free credit provided to the business so they can pay the CPP and employment insurance premiums for a new hiring. And small business is very important as an incubation for those individuals. It'll also be followed by next year a $1,000 credit if you retain that employee. So those are the main elements that we're looking at for job creation, as well too making sure that we're going to have a made in Canada solution. No more rewarding those that take jobs out of Canada.
Thank you, Brian. And the next one is on the environment. What local environmental issue do you think is most pressing, and what do you propose to do about it as a Member of Parliament?
There are actually a couple of things that are very important for our environment here, and the first one is to get the Great Lakes and the water quality up to the standards that are necessary. We've seen the Conservatives support the movement of nuclear waste and materials for recycling through the Great Lakes. That's an unnecessary risk that shouldn't happen. We should stop that right away, and we should be investing in the Great Lakes. The last budget that the Conservatives had, they had only $6 million allocated for the Great Lakes in total. In fact, that's less per capita than the fake lake that they built on the G8 in Toronto. That was a couple $1 million. So we need to make sure that our water quality is going to be protected and enhanced, and that's something that can be done through partnerships with the Conservation Authority. We also have to look at the border and making sure that we get that completed, because that parkway is going to reduce emissions for many vehicles that are passing through our community that are going to international destinations as well as local destinations. And lastly, greening. Jack Layton's plan for the economy and for jobs, solar, wind, all those initiatives are very important because it creates value-added work and also reduces our energy footprint on greenhouse gas emissions.
Our next one is on the youth vote, and it is, how has the use of social media affected politics in this campaign?
Oh, it's been really impressive to see the youth get involved in the social media, and actually you're seeing older people get involved in social media as well too. It's when you look at issues like Facebook, for example, it's a way to connect out to people. They get to see not only just the politics of things, but also you as a person and the things that you get involved in the community. I can tell you that we've had a lot of postings on our Facebook site. We're up to over around 4,000 friends that are visiting from all over the place, not only just Windsor and Essex County, but also across the country. And that's important because we get a chance to promote Windsor as well too. They get to see the culture, the people, the activity that's taking place here. We also have Twitter as well. We have over 1,000 people that are following tweets along the way. It's also an important way to show some, connect to some of the national issues that you're actually reflecting here locally. And I'd say as well, there's several other social media things that are emerging that we're getting involved in. They're very important because what they do is they provide a window for the person to see you as an individual.
Okay, our next one is on seniors. And it is, do you believe Canada needs a national framework to deal specifically with the large number of people set to retire in the next few years?
We absolutely do. This is a very, very important issue for the community and for the country. A number of years ago, about 4 years ago, I traveled across Canada to promote a Seniors Charter of Rights. I went across to several different locations. It was supported universally because seniors' issues weren't being addressed. That actually got passed in the House of Commons. Unfortunately, Mr. Harper, although he said that you should live up to the spirit of the House in opposition, has yet to pass my Seniors Charter into legislation. So what we've been pushing for is a Canada Pension Plan renewal. There's no reason why we can't have increased pensions because if we have money for corporate tax cuts, jets and prisons, we have money to help seniors get by right now. And that's actually going to help youth too as well, because we have a 20% unemployment rate for youth in Windsor, and so if we open up some jobs because seniors have pensions, it's going to create new opportunities for them. We also want to improve the GIS. That's something important to lift every single senior out of poverty. There's no reason that the people that have basically built our country have to languish in poverty or make choices between food, rent, and money at the expense of having no pensions.
Okay. And our final question, the wild card, is, what are you going to do for me if you're elected?
Well, I think that my record stands for itself in the sense of trying to be open, accountable. We run a good office. We have terrific staff. We look at the local issues, so whether it be the border as something that's very important, or whether we actually tackle the big companies like the Bell Canada recent deferral decision, where we were able to campaign on that and get money back in the pockets of people that actually had lost their money from Bell and who didn't want to refund those checks. The auto repair bill that we had, the right to repair, is another economic issue where Canadians weren't being treated the same as their vehicles could get repaired in the United States and other places, and those same codes and information and tools weren't provided in Canada. We actually got a voluntary agreement about that. My legislation was a key part of that. So I'll just continue to work hard as a member of Parliament, be accountable, be open, transparent, and also be approachable. I think that's one of the strengths of our office, is that we make sure that we're well engaged in the community, and we also know that people can feel comfortable to get help from us at any point in time.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.